Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, Writing Practices. Today we are going to learn how to write a legal service agreement, which is a formal contract between a service provider and a client that clearly outlines the services to be performed, payment terms, responsibilities, and legal protections for both parties. Now let's go through every single part of this agreement step by step, in order, and for each section I will read the full sample first, then explain what to write, why it is important, and how it protects you legally. Agreement title: Legal Service Agreement. This is the title of your document. You must clearly state the type of agreement so there is no confusion about its purpose. Legally, the title helps identify the nature of the contract and can support interpretation if disputes arise. Opening statement. This service agreement is made and entered into on this date, by and between. This opening line introduces the agreement and includes the effective date. You need to write the exact date when the agreement is created or signed. This is legally important because it determines when obligations begin and can affect deadlines, payments, and enforcement. Identification of the parties: service provider's full legal name/company name, having its principal place of business at address, hereinafter referred to as the service provider, and client's full legal name, company name, having its principal place of business at address, hereinafter referred to as the client. Here you must write the full legal names and addresses of both parties. This ensures both sides are clearly identified. Legally, this is crucial because a contract must accurately identify who is bound by it. Using full legal names avoids disputes and strengthens enforceability. Collective term: collectively referred to as the parties. This line allows you to refer to both the service provider and client together as the parties. It keeps the agreement clean and professional. While simple, it is a standard legal practice in contracts. Point number 1, scope of services. The service provider agrees to perform the following services for the client. Clearly describe the services, deliverables, and scope of work. All services shall be performed in a professional and timely manner in accordance with the terms of this agreement. In this section, you must clearly describe the work being done, including deliverables and expectations. This is one of the most important parts of the agreement. Legally, it defines obligations. If this section is unclear, disputes can easily happen about what was promised or delivered. Point number 2, term of agreement. This agreement shall commence on start date and shall continue until end date, completion of services, unless terminated earlier in accordance with this agreement. Here you write when the agreement starts and when it ends. This could be a fixed date or based on project completion. Legally, this defines the duration of responsibilities and prevents confusion about when obligations stop. Point number 3, compensation. In consideration for the services provided, the client agrees to pay the service provider as follows. Specify fee structure, such as fixed fee, hourly rate, or milestone-based payments. Payment schedule. Specify schedule. All payments shall be made via payment method within numbered days of receipt of invoice. This section explains how much the client will pay, how payments are structured, and when they are due. This is legally critical because it ensures the service provider can enforce payment. Without clear payment terms, collecting fees can become difficult. Point number 4, expenses. The client shall reimburse the service provider for any reasonable and necessary expenses incurred in connection with the services, provided such expenses are pre-approved in writing. Here, you explain whether the client will cover additional costs. You must include the condition of pre-approval. Legally, this protects both parties. The provider avoids paying out of pocket, and the client avoids unexpected charges. Point number 5, independent contractor relationship. The service provider is engaged as an independent contractor and not as an employee, agent, or partner of the client. The service provider shall be solely responsible for all taxes, insurance, and statutory obligations. This clarifies the working relationship. It is extremely important legally because it determines tax responsibilities and employment status. Without this, the client could face legal issues related to employee misclassification. Point number 6, confidentiality. Both parties agree to maintain the confidentiality of any proprietary or sensitive information received during the course of this agreement and shall not disclose such information without prior written consent. This section protects sensitive information. Legally, it ensures that confidential data cannot be shared without permission. This is especially important in business relationships involving private or strategic information. Point number 7. Intellectual property. Unless otherwise agreed in writing, all work products and deliverables created under this agreement shall become the property of the client upon full payment. The service provider may retain copies for record keeping or portfolio purposes, subject to confidentiality obligations. This defines ownership of the work. You must clearly state who owns the final output. Legally, this prevents disputes over usage rights and ensures the client receives ownership after payment. Point number 8. Performance standards. The service provider agrees to perform the services with due care, skill, and diligence in accordance with industry standards. This sets the quality expectation. Legally, it allows the client to hold the provider accountable if the work is done poorly or negligently. Point number 9. Deadlines and deliverables. The service provider shall complete all deliverables in accordance with the agreed timeline. Any delays shall be promptly communicated, and revised timelines shall be mutually agreed upon. Here, you define deadlines and expectations for delivery. This is important because delays can affect business operations. Legally, it creates accountability and allows both parties to manage delays properly. Point number 10. Termination. Either party may terminate this agreement by providing number days written notice to the other party. Upon termination, the client shall pay for all services rendered up to the termination date. Any prepaid amounts for unperformed services shall be refunded, if applicable. This section explains how the agreement can be ended. You must include notice requirements and what happens financially. Legally, this protects both sides from unfair termination and ensures proper settlement. Point number 11. Limitation of liability. To the fullest extent permitted by law, the service provider shall not be liable for any indirect, incidental, or consequential damages arising out of or related to this agreement. This limits the types of damages one party can claim. Legally, this protects the service provider from excessive financial risk. Point number 12. Indemnification. Each party agrees to indemnify and hold harmless the other party from any claims, damages, or liabilities arising from its own negligence, misconduct, or breach of this agreement. This means each party is responsible for their own actions. Legally, it prevents one party from being held responsible for the other's mistakes. Point number 13. Dispute resolution. Any disputes arising out of or in connection with this agreement shall first be resolved through good faith negotiations. If unresolved, such disputes shall be submitted to mediation or arbitration in accordance with the laws of state country. This explains how conflicts will be handled. Legally, it can save time and money by avoiding court and encouraging resolution through mediation or arbitration. Point number 14. Governing law. This agreement shall be governed by and construed in accordance with the laws of state country. This specifies which laws apply to the agreement. This is very important legally, especially if parties are in different locations. Point number 15. Amendments. This agreement may only be amended by a written document signed by both parties. This means any changes must be in writing. Legally, this prevents disputes over verbal modifications. Point number 16. Entire agreement. This agreement constitutes the entire agreement between the parties and supersedes all prior understandings or agreements, whether written or oral. This confirms that this document is the final agreement. Legally, it prevents either party from claiming that other discussions are part of the contract. Closing statement. In witness whereof, the parties have executed this agreement as of the date first written above. This formal closing confirms both parties agree to all terms. It signals that the document is ready for signing. Signatures section. Service provider signature. Name, service provider's full legal name. Date, client signature. Name, client's full legal name. Date, this is where both parties sign and date the agreement. Legally, signatures are what make the contract enforceable. Without them, the agreement may not hold legal weight. So that's how you write a legal service agreement step by step. Make sure every section is complete, clear, and legally sound to fully protect both parties.